I landed after 3 months on the road, slept like a stone, and woke to whispers outside my bedroom door. "Don't let him hear us," Mason hissed. My brother-in-law, Clarice, my mother-in-law, shushed him, jet-lagged, barefoot and still. In yesterday's t-shirt, I cracked the door. They stood at the hall mirror dressed like a magazine spread. Mason in a navy suit, Clarice in maroon silk, sparkling and smug. "Morning," I said. "Big day?" "Distant cousin's wedding," Clarice purred. "We didn't want to wake you." "At 6 a.m. on a Tuesday." "Sure. I work in security consulting. Paranoia is a job perk." While I fixed Mason's tie, I clipped a micro camera beneath the lapel. They swept out in a hurry. I made coffee, opened my laptop, and watched the live feed. Act 1, the wedding I wasn't invited to. The camera showed a garden venue straight off a brochure. White chairs, an arch drowned in flowers, guests in pastels. Then I saw her, Laya. My wife of 7 years, hair pinned, ivory dress, glowing like a headline. On her arm was Reed, the gym trainer I'd heard about exactly 3 times. Tall, charming. Built like a statue, not just an acquaintance. Clarice and Mason greeted him like family. Hugs. "Son." Inside jokes. No introductions needed. The officiant lifted a booklet. Vows, rings, the full ceremony. "You may kiss the bride." They did. Not a polite peck. A movie-length kiss that made the crowd cheer and my stomach turn. I took screenshots in a daze. Every frame, every angle. Evidence that the distant cousin's wedding was my wife's. I called Laya. Voicemail. I called again. Nothing. So I called a friend, Jonah, ex-coworker, now a private investigator. "Name's Reed Morrison," I said. "Trainer. I want everything. Give me a day." I didn't get a day. Act 2. The crash that afternoon, a trooper called. "Sir, there's been an accident on Highway 14. Your wife's vehicle." Regional Medical Center smelled like bleach and bad news. Officer Martinez laid it out. Reed had been driving. Blood alcohol. 12. They hit the median at 80. The car flipped. Reed died at the scene. Clarice and Mason were critical. Laya, dead on arrival. I stood outside the ICU staring at tubes and monitors. A few hours earlier, they'd been celebrating a secret wedding. Now the machines did the talking. I felt hollow. No tears, no yelling. Just a cavity where the marriage should have been. Grief didn't come. Clarity did. Act 3. Paper, proof. And a knife made of facts. Death is paperwork with a drumbeat. Insurance, bank accounts, titles, wills. I sat at our kitchen table for 3 days, sifting through a life I clearly didn't know. Transfers to accounts I'd never heard of. Credit, card charges I didn't recognize. A file of life and accident insurance I'd forgotten existed. Policies with my name as beneficiary, because legally Laya was still my wife. That wedding wasn't a wedding, it was theater. Bigamy isn't legal. I called Patricia, our old estate attorney. I told her everything. "Morally messy," she said. "Legally clean. The assets are yours." Jonah's report hit my inbox the next morning. Reed was exactly what he looked like. Handsome, broke, and overpromising. No secret fortune, no secret past. Just a long line of borrowed favors and unpaid tabs. Then the doorbell rang. Act 4. The You Owe Me. Tora woman stood on my step, thin as a match and burning twice as bright. "I'm Nida," she said. "Reed's ex. You owe me." Her story. Reed promised to take care of her with Laya's money once they married. Now they were both dead, and I was sitting on cash that should have been mine. I recorded the whole thing. When she tried to push past me, building security walked her out. She yelled over her shoulder, "This isn't over! I'm taking you to court! Get in line!" 2 weeks later, the calls started. cousins, aunts, finally Mason himself. "We're family," he croaked. "Laya would want you to help with the bills." "They stopped being my family," I said, "the day they hid her betrayal." Click Act 5. Cutting. The lines. I sold the house fast. No nostalgia. Every room was a booby trap of memory. The new place was smaller, quiet, and mine. I invested part of the insurance in Jonah's firm. The rest went to long-term funds. Freedom. Money. The kind that means you never have to stay. At a job, at a table, or in a life. That isn't right. The calls dried up. Silence returned. Real silence. Not the kind that hides knives. 3 years later. The shape of quiet. I don't think about Laya much. When I do, it's like remembering a movie I saw once. I miss the man who believed love was enough, more than I miss the woman who proved it wasn't. Jonah and I built a steady business, corporate security, high-risk clients, the occasional divorce attorney who needs proof. That last one always makes me smile. Weekends belong to me. Fishing on Saturdays, reading in the park on Sundays. The apartment looks like my life, not a compromise. No staged throw pillows, no secret plans whispered in hallways. Sometimes people ask if I'm bitter. I'm not. Bitterness requires investment. I'm careful where I spend mine. I learned something in the wreckage. Freedom isn't loud. It's a quiet morning you don't have to share with liars. It's choosing who gets your time, and meaning it. It's hearing a knock on the door, and knowing you don't owe the person on the other side a thing. The quiet is mine now, and I plan to keep it.